Hey, hey, hey! How we doing, team? Welcome back to the ABCDs of Sports podcast. I'm your team captain, Samit Anand, and this is Game 9. Oh, super stoked and super excited today. I feel like it's been such a long time since I've hanged out with you all, but thank you as always for spending great quality time with me, because as I always say, time is the most precious commodity that we have, because it never comes back. So, super excited, stoked, because I just came off the heels of watching the USA men's national team in soccer beat Jamaica 4-2 in their second leg of the CONCACAF quarterfinals, 5-2 total in aggregate. With that, they get to advance to the CONCACAF Nations League semifinals. For our casual fans, what does that mean really quickly? So, in sometimes the way how soccer works, they do a home and away series where they play two games where the two teams face each other, and the most goals cumulatively in their two games that a team has, the team with the most goals cumulatively wins the series, and then they get to advance. So USA took on Jamaica, two games, one in Jamaica, one in USA. They beat them total 5 goals to 2, and therefore they got to advance. And as you know, that's one of the teams that is one of my favorites, and I know is one of your favorites. So I was super happy I saw that and super excited. Next thing, all right, if you were wondering how my fantasy football teams did this past week, well, it wasn't good. Yeah, lost both of them. You know what? It happens. Very totally broken hearted. Felt like I should have won both of them in some way, some capacity, but oh well. The gods were not favoring me this time. Do have one logistical thing before we get into our game plan, and that is just that after this episode, we'll be taking a little bit of a break for Thanksgiving. We will re collaborate and come back to you after December 1st, and then we'll talk about how the Christmas holidays and the New Year's holidays will go at that point. But before I forget, very important, a very happy Thanksgiving to all of you and all of your families and all your loved ones, because as always, those times are just always about, again, precious quality time with people that we love and care about. And as always, thank you for letting me be part of it. So I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic Thanksgiving. Okay, it's now time for our game plan. All right, game plan. This is game 9. Now, if you've been listening, number 9 is a very, very precious number for me. It's one of my favorite numbers when it comes to sports. Why? Because it has such an impact all over so many sports. The number 9 is usually given to what we call the game changer. That one person who just needs one touch, one dribble, one shot that can change the game on its head and totally change the outcome of everything. And it's so many wonderful, amazing players have won it. With that, I have two dedications, one personal and one professional in terms of who I want to dedicate the number 9 to. But let's do a quick run through of special number 9s when it comes to sports. In hockey, Mr. Hockey himself, Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky's favorite player of all time and his idol. I mean, just to name one quick thing about him, and there's so many things. Mr. Gordie Howe played 34 years in the NHL. 34. He actually was at one point right before he retired, he played on a line in ice hockey with his two sons. Mr. Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints quarterback, retired quarterback. That guy, Hall of Famer, not only did he change the fortunes of that franchise by making them perennial Super Bowl contender, but he changed the whole outcome of that city. He signed on with them after the Hurricane Katrina when they were just hurting and they needed somebody to kind of rally around. He was that person. So major props to him for that. Gave them their only Super Bowl win. In soccer, oh my God, there's so many. There's so many. I mean, that it's good. Like I said, the number 9 usually goes to your striker, the guy up top, the one who scores the goals, the one who with one shot, one quick shot can change the game. Check out this list. Cristiano Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, a World Cup winner himself, Mr. Harry Kane of England, Mbappe. But with all that in mind, we're going to give it professionally a dedication to the GOAT when it comes to women's soccer, Mia Hamm. As you know and heard, I had a quick brief encounter with him. I will forever remember it. But Mia Hamm, the icon, one of the greatest icons when it comes to women's sports of all time, put women's soccer on the map, transformed women's sports. So many women and girls idolize her. She's amazing. So she gets it professionally. When it comes to personally, that you're gonna find that out why in a real quick second. But we're giving it to our new teammate. Our new teammate is a game changer. She's a game changer for this podcast. Reason why? Because we've been talking about second generation Indian Americans the whole time. She's a first generation Asian American who came from Korea. Yeah, I know it's different, but we're going to expand and we are inclusive here at the ABCDs of Sports podcast, and she's a really good friend. So she gets the number 9 today, and we're going to find out her story. Our game of the week, the NWSL Championship, Saturday, November 23rd, 2024, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. The Orlando Pride take on the Washington Spirit. We've talked about how Trinity Rodman is on the Washington Spirit before, and she is a player to watch. But the player to watch for this weekend is none other than women soccer's Brazilian great, Marta. Storied career, another icon, another international superstar, 6-time World Player of the Year for FIFA on the women's side. Women's World Cup all-time goal scorer at 17 goals. But, big but, in her career, she's only won one trophy ever, the 2011 WPS Championship. So she's on the tail end of her career on the twilight, and she's looking to ride off into the sunset with another trophy. And so we got to see if she's going to land it this Saturday. All right, let's see if she can do it. Other quick games of the week, since again, this is kind of a little bit of a Thanksgiving special. It's none other than, of course, Thanksgiving football games. You can never go wrong watching football on Thanksgiving. I mean, it's now a new American tradition watching football on Thanksgiving Day. Getting all stuffed up, getting another tryptophan, feeling lazy on the couch, and getting to watch football. The big game, I would say, is the Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions. Original teams, one of the longest NFL rivalries of all time, and we know how hot the Detroit Lions are going right now. And Chicago Bears, their rookie quarterback Caleb Williams gets to show up in the spotlight. So it'll be cool to see how he does on that. Other quick Thanksgiving games, then New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys, two struggling franchises right now. But it's Thanksgiving, always fun to watch. And then Miami Dolphins versus the Green Bay Packers. Should be a lot of fireworks in that game, a lot of offensive scoring. Okay, so now it's time to introduce our new teammate. Hey team, welcome back. All right, we're here with our new teammate, Kathy. Kathy, thank you so much for being part of this. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's so good. Real quick. So Kathy is, believe it or not, one of those serendipitous friends where they come out of nowhere and you never would have guessed, but it's super special. Gotta thank her lovely wife, Dee, who I like to call my partner in crime, my work partner in crime. We'll leave that story for another day. But thank you, Dee, for introducing us. But as a result of our friendship, Kathy and I have been good soccer buds for just a long time. And we shared some really fun moments. I remember a wave game together in June of 2022. That was so fun. We were sitting there chilling out, sitting behind Jill Ellis, of course, and we had we had a last second goal. She was there also in October 23rd of 2023, where USA beat Colombia 3-0 in the women's team. And that was like our first game back after the Olympics, and so it was like, oh, get that redemption there. And then she shared with me the 1-0 win over Brazil early this year in March in the Gold Cup for the women's national team. And then she was also in the stadium with me when Alex Morgan had our last game. So
Cheer.
Yeah.
And we're representing the Alex Morgan jersey
Yeah,
today.
she's garbed out in our Alex Morgan wave jersey. That's awesome. Also, she and Dee were super cool and got me a birthday present as a Gulls hockey game, and we were like right there.
That
So
was a lot of
that
fun.
was so fun, and it was the one time the Gulls won. So
Yes. Even sweeter.
yes, works that way. So one thing though is that remember we talked about earlier about how I had kept number nine open and didn't dedicate it. Well, it's dedicated to Kathy here, actually, for a lot of reasons. One, number nine is your birthday, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's why it's special. And as I know, you've done nine either half marathons or full marathons,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, mostly half marathons. It's only one
But
full
still,
marathon.
I mean, most people don't do one of any of those, and you've done nine of them.
Yeah.
So that's great. So that's why here when in game nine, that nine belongs to you, my friend.
Thank you. I really appreciate
No,
that.
anytime. So, Kathy, go ahead, talk to us a little bit about your sports story and sports history.
Well, I grew up in the Midwest. I'm actually adopted and I'm Korean American, so I was adopted when I was a baby. My sister, my older sister Nikki, she actually grew up playing a lot of sports. So I wanted to do everything that she was doing. So I tried basketball, I tried running, I tried soccer, but soccer was the one thing that really stuck for me. And I was not good at basketball. I was really terrible at it. So I don't know, soccer always just felt like something, it was something that we got to do. It wasn't something that we like had to do. So I really enjoyed just being outside with friends and I enjoyed the social aspect of it. And of course the orange slices and Capri Suns right
Yeah,
now.
you can't go wrong with that. That's the
Yeah.
best. That way that just always nothing brings team together like orange slices.
Yeah,
As a
exactly.
kid, you get all shit that way.
Yeah.
So in Midwest, that was in Chicago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chicago suburbs. Yeah.
Oh.
I was probably one of a couple, like a handful of Asian Americans there. So it was pretty not very diverse, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you used soccer to help connect with people that way,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. Another great world sport that way. Is soccer your favorite sport or you into other stuff? Because we know we just as we
Mhm.
talked about, you're a big runner, so
Yeah, I would say soccer would definitely be my favorite to watch.
Mhm.
But right now I think snowboarding, mountain biking would be my favorite to partake in. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, where do you snowboard and mountain bike?
So snowboarding, that's mostly done at Big Bear or at Mammoth, but Mammoth's a little bit harder to get to just because of the distance.
Mhm.
Um, Big Bear is nice because it's only, a few hours away, but it's
Yeah.
still a trek, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, there's nothing like Mammoth Snow.
Yeah, it's
Sounds like
amazing.
that way. And then that first, if I recall, you and D have like annual passes, or you did.
We used to,
Uh-huh.
but it's definitely a little bit pricier now, and we're just maybe going a couple times a year. So
Okay.
yeah,
That way. But still, you go make it an annual thing that you go
yeah,
out there for sure to Mammoth
yeah.
and Big Bear and hit the slopes
Mhm.
and that way.
And that's why it's kind of nice with mountain biking because we can do that here more locally. It's not something you're having to travel like 3 hours there and a few hours back, and it's like a whole day thing. You can just go out for a couple hours and then come back for mountain biking.
Yes, I noticed that one on your on the iWatch that when you're hitting the bikes and the
Yeah.
bike that.
Yes.
Well, we're by the way for our fans, she's here in San Diego with me, and so we're in San Diego. Do we mountain bike?
Well, where do I begin? So I think Penasquitos would definitely be my favorite,
Hmm.
and the Mission Trails is definitely a favorite. There's Black Mountain, Sweetwater down south, and then there's just a lot more places, kind of in Orange County and further out east that I haven't been.
Hmm.
And then they also have bike parks at Snow Summit and let's see, Snow Valley right there.
Oh wow, no way. In the Big Bear area.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That I never knew that stuff. So, I mean, those places are so fun to watch, go to year round. So
Mhm.
cool. So what's your favorite place to go to in terms of mountain biking?
I really love, I think Penasquitos is kind of my favorite just
Hmm.
because it's a really good place if you're a beginner.
Hmm.
But also there's some more challenging trails there too. So if you're looking for a little bit more techie stuff, they have a little bit of that there. So yeah.
Cool. Cool, cool. Do you have a favorite team or athlete?
San Diego Wave right now would definitely be my favorite, and the U.S. Women's National Team, of course. Um, Favorite athlete, I would say. I'll name a former and a current.
Cool.
Okay, so former, it's gonna have to go to Alex Morgan, of course.
Mhm.
It was definitely sad seeing her last game and retiring, but such an incredible career, and yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so surreal. So surreal. And then current.
Current is another wave player. I would say Delphine Cascarino. I think she's
Oh,
incredible.
interesting. I did not expect her. Why
Yeah.
her?
I really love her technical abilities
Hmm.
and her ability to cross and just her awareness of other players on the field and her ability to go 1v1 with people. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. She has no fear.
No.
Right? She has no fear. Like there's no defender that she's seen that she can't beat in her
Yeah.
mind. She's going at it, and it adds a good dynamic to the team because
Mhm.
it pushes the pressure on the defense,
Yeah.
right? And because attack. I love it. What, by the way, going back a little bit, what position did you play in soccer?
I was mostly midfield
Hmm.
or sometimes forward. And my dad once did stick me in the goal for one season, and I hate it. And I know you were a goalie, so I have to give you a lot of credit.
Oh, thanks.
Wait, why did you choose goalie though?
Great question. Wow, that way. Well, I chose goalie. It was a little bit late. I was in eighth grade at the time,
Mhm.
although I was 11.
Mhm.
Is because one, I didn't realize how being in San Diego, like how hotspot of soccer it was, and like
Mhm.
practically, even though I was in fourth division, like a fourth division school,
Mhm.
like all the kids that were trying out for the school team had played club soccer for like since they were like two, and
Mhm.
they were all really good and skilled. And there's no way I was like getting anywhere and sniffing the field, but
Mhm.
I wanted to contribute. I wanted to be part of
Yeah.
a team and help out. And the one weak spot that they didn't have was a goalie. Yeah.
Wow.
So I just stuck with it and it worked. And the team was a lot better, luckily, with me being goal, because then
Mhm.
all the other players could focus on being on the field and working
Yeah.
that way. So I knew when I was sitting there bored, we were doing really well. And when I was busy, that means we were not doing very well. But luckily, it was good. And so I loved it. And then there's something about being that last line of defense
Yeah.
and that your team depends on you to be that way.
Feel like
And
the pressure.
yes, good call with
Wow.
that. So I love that. Favorite jersey number, my friend.
It's gotta be number 9.
See, I knew this is why you're perfect for this game
Well,
today.
well, not just because the birthday, but because like growing up, Mia Hamm was number 9, and that
Uh,
was the jersey everybody was fighting
of
over.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was right iconic with that.
Mhm.
Her number nine, that the perfect striker. Like we talk about a great striker can be a total game changer, and Mia Hamm at number nine, who
Mhm.
played at the nine position, was a game changer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that way. I mean, the world was on her and everything like that way. Tell me your favorite Mia Hamm story.
Well, I really enjoyed the one with you and your wife.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
Yeah, if you didn't hear, that goes back to game two, where my wife and I we encountered Mia Hamm on a flight from New Zealand to Australia.
Mhm.
So we won't go into details about that, but thank you for that one.
Yeah.
Going
But I
down.
screamed when you sent the picture of you and me and Ham together. I was like, oh my God, dude, you know what this is? I was so happy to see that,
Oh,
honestly.
I really wanted to just give her a big hug and take her home and say, hey, you got to meet everybody here, but
Yeah.
I, that was not the way. That was not going to happen with her thing. She just like, please get away from me. Take this photo and go. Yeah, if you're out there, if you're ever listening, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
and I do love you, and I'll make it up somehow. We'll do it that way.
Uh,
Cool. So, you got a cool sports story about anything, in your lifetime that growing up or now whether it's running or mountain biking,
mhm.
snowboarding, that you just think has helped you just define and be part of this world, you could say almost.
I think it would probably be with snowboarding.
Okay.
And growing up, I first snowboarded when I was 13,
Uh,
and I was really terrible at it. Like, I've never been in so much pain, just like muscle soreness the next day, also falling a lot on your butt or your knees or your hands. Like, you're in a lot of pain the next day. But then when I was in my early 20s, I wanted to keep going and keep trying, and I was still really bad at it. All I was doing was heel side, which
Mm.
is yeah, you're just on your heels.
Uh-huh.
And then I was doing what you call a falling leaf. So you go left and then you go right, but it's all on your heels. And it's kind of hard if you're like the person behind them because it's very unpredictable and chaotic.
Yeah.
And it just hurts too because your calves are on fire the whole time.
Yeah, right. That puts a lot of stress on the oh my gosh.
But one day it was just like it was at Mount High and
Hmm.
it was just this long straight slope. And then I
Hmm.
was like, okay, I think I'm gonna try toe side today. And so I just took a little chance and I started going on the edge a little bit to my toes, and I was like, that's it. Like
Wow, that's so cool. And I mean, that's awesome that you just persevered and kept going with it and it just paid off. Like you literally, uh, no, the phrase "no pain, no gain" type of thing. So
yeah, that
you,
would definitely apply here. I mean, it's just like once you feel that click, you're like,
yeah.
oh, that's it. And then you just go, okay, I got confidence there. What can I do next? And then you just keep building on that like a cake, like a layer cake or something. And I think now I have a lot more confidence in snowboarding. And I think, yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, just real quick because I've hit Mountain High. Which slope was that? Do you remember?
I don't know the exact name. It's like the main one that goes right down to the lifts. It's like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Like you take that beginner slope right off the beginning, and
Mhm.
then you can go left or right,
Mhm.
correct? And it's like there's only like two bunny slopes there,
Yeah.
right? And three total if you kind of fake it a bit.
Yeah.
Uh, one has a lift that's on the right that's we have to go up and walk up and check it. But
Mhm.
this is what you're talking about is like one that goes up the top, and they usually use that to go to like other lifts to go up to
Yeah,
like double black
exactly.
diamonds, right? And then you
Mhm.
go down one to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know. And then at the end of that one, it has a big drop, right?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
yeah, a big drop. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
But I think, that's kind of like with mountain biking too. You don't just go down to Black Diamond. It's
Mhm.
like you kind of have to work your way up to things. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, you build on things and you get a little more confidence every single time. And sometimes you get hurt, sometimes you succeed. But yeah.
Cool. And so did you what do you call it? Uh are you double black diamonding now?
For snowboarding, it
Hmm.
depends where I'm
Okay.
at. So if Big Bear, yeah, sometimes I'll do the double black diamond. That
Uh-huh.
one's Geronimo there.
Okay.
At Mammoth, I
Hmm.
am not at black diamond status yet. Yeah, or
Uh,
double. I can do the black diamond, but the double blacks I haven't tried yet.
no,
Those are
no.
just
I mean, Mammoth is at next level. That
yeah,
does right. That's nationally renowned. Where like the Olympians train.
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you could like when you look at the top of the slope, you're just like you can't even see over. So it's like, yeah.
That's so
I'll
cool.
just wait on that one.
Do you have a favorite sports moment you've watched?
Uh, so I think this one was kind of a little bit recently.
Hmm.
Funny enough, it was during the World Cup
Uh-huh.
and it was the USA versus Netherlands.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you remember, but
Yeah.
it was Daniel Van de Donk took out Lindsey Horan with this
Hmm.
really hard challenge.
Hmm.
And Lindsey Horan goes down and it looked like it really hurts. And then we end up getting a corner kick, and you
Hmm.
can see like Lindsey Horan getting in a kind of like a physical altercation a little bit with Daniel Van de Donk.
Hmm.
And and then the ref goes in there to break it up, and then you can see Julie Ertz stepping in saying something to Lindsey Horan, which I later found out I think she said something like, just shut everybody up and score.
Hmm.
And so then Rose Lavelle delivers the corner kick, and then Lindsey Horan heads it into the goal and we score,
Yeah.
tying the game.
Yeah, it was that was an incredible moment. It
Yeah,
was just so incredible. And like a captain stepping up and taking
yeah,
like, all right, we're doing this. We're not letting them that.
yeah,
Yeah, that was amazing. Great. That's an awesome one.
yeah. That was pure joy and relief and a little revenge all and wrapped up in one. Yeah, that was amazing.
So gonna give you a toughie one here.
Mhm.
How would you continue to grow sports popularity amongst women?
I think, um, well, in the NWSL in particular, I
Mhm.
would try to get more teams in major metropolitan areas.
Okay.
I think Austin would kind of be a cool city for that,
Hmm.
or Denver, or I don't know, where else am I missing?
I mean, you could consider Detroit,
Mm.
Michigan, something like that.
Vegas, that it.
Vegas will probably hit one of that stuff. Hard part with Vegas, right, is because most of the games are in the summer
Oh yeah, that'd be
and
brutal.
it is brutal heat, and like they can't have all the games at night. They said
Uh,
I've noticed that way for both leagues, MLS and WSL. I mean, the majority will be at night, like on a Saturday or Sunday
mhm.
evening. But they want to have that flexibility where they can do it during the day and be all right. So that's
Yeah,
that's the one issue that, and it's why Vegas didn't get an MLS franchise when San Diego was fighting with them.
interesting.
Granted, there's pockets money and stuff like that too,
Hmm.
but that way. So, but the Vegas would be a great spot. Austin is such a great soccer culture
Yeah.
that way.
And I love seeing like all these cities that they're doing the friendlies in because I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, it's drawing a big crowd there.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's skyrocketing. It's so great, and the women are so talented and it's doing
Mhm.
so well. And I agree with you. It will keep growing the game. And the one sport that is being invested in outside, like in Europe, especially, is
Mhm.
women's soccer,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And those players going to, and for our national players to keep growing and improving, they're going to have to do it this
Yeah.
way. They got to keep up. So I'm with you with that.
Well, and
Hmm.
the other one was, I think, having the WSL and the NWSL. I thought those pairings were pretty cool. Like when Chelsea played Gotham and
Yeah.
Arsenal was playing, I think the Spirit. Like
Yeah.
those games are really cool to see.
Yeah.
You know,
That's your best of the best playing it against each other. So
yeah.
as they can incorporate that more, oh, it'd
Mhm.
be a lot of fun
Yeah.
that way, and exhibitions and stuff like cool. I love it. I love it. Is there an athlete that you would like to trade roles with?
I think funny enough, it would be somebody who's not actually playing now, but I think it would be Sam Mewis
Okay.
because I really love what she's doing with her podcast, and she
Uh-huh.
has one of the coolest jobs ever.
Yeah.
She gets to interview people in women's soccer, and
Mhm.
she just brings so much joy and excitement to the women's game. It's yeah.
Yeah, she's incredible. It's a shame that she got her knees got messed up, and
Yeah,
otherwise she's pure captain material for the national team, and
absolutely.
would have taken the team to a new heights and be perfect to go around and everybody would work around there. And she's clutch. Like when the team needed a big goal, she's there. Need a
Yeah.
big stuff. So
Mhm.
definitely she's missed.
Tower
Yeah.
power.
Yeah. She's missed. Yeah, that's a great choice. And yes, her podcast is amazing.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
The women's
The
game.
Women's Game.
Yeah. I think her and Roger are really funny like too. They've got great banter. So yeah.
All right. If you're commissioner for a day and could change one thing about any league or sport, what would it be?
I think well, I think they're kind of doing a little bit of it now with FIFA,
Mhm.
but I would say put more research into ACL injuries
Mm.
because I suffered an ACL injury in
Oh,
soccer. My sister had two ACL injuries, one in soccer, one in basketball.
oh man.
And I think collectively we could probably list off 10 people in the last 2 years who have had ACL
Yeah,
injuries
no,
just
it's
for
exponential in how much women deal with it more than
mhm.
men. A lot of it is like field conditions,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, the like especially like the turf. Poor women have been playing on turf
Yeah,
for a long time, and turf is
so
not good.
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tough. And it for our casual fans with turf, the problem is that when you're trying to cut and make a sudden movement, turf, it will keep your foot. It won't give and it'll
Mhm.
lock it. And then problem is then if it's locked, then your knee will turn in a wrong direction and then you tear
That's
it. Right?
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's horrible. With grass there's more give because it
Mhm.
has more cushion and it won't lock those legs. So then there's less that way. The men are getting to it, although
Mhm.
owners want to put on turf because obviously it's easier to maintain,
Mhm.
but they need to figure out a better way for all the turf that way. And women have been dealing with that forever. I mean, I remember in the 2015 World Cup where all of us in
Oh,
Canada,
yeah.
I mean the women were really not having it. And they
They have to
lost a lot
file
of
a
good
law.
stars.
Didn't they file a lawsuit
Yeah,
for
they
that?
did.
Yeah.
And then they fixed it that way. Can I ask how you tore your ACL?
It was right. It was my first game of varsity my junior year, right during warm-ups, and we were doing rondos,
Uh-huh.
and then the girl in the middle came up because I had the ball, and then
Yeah.
our legs collided, and I just felt this like excruciating
Oh
pain, and
my
I went down.
gosh.
And I
Wow.
was like, yeah, that is not a good feeling at all.
So you played varsity soccer.
Uh, warm-ups.
What?
Yeah, only one season, and it was only in warm-ups.
Oh my God. So your 1 year in varsity soccer, you lost it because of the ACL injury?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so
first game.
sorry. That's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That way. So it's a senior year then? Or is it
Junior
junior,
year.
junior?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
super bummed, and because that was kind of like the ending of soccer for me, and yeah.
Because the knee injury, you couldn't come back from that and play again.
Yeah, like I played a little bit of indoor soccer,
Uh-huh.
but then I wasn't able to play my senior year just because logistics, getting to and from school without having a car, having to
Oh,
have a job to have a car. It was kind of
yeah.
like it was too tough to do. So
Wow.
yeah, that was the end of soccer.
That's so heartbreaking. How did you come back from that?
Uh, I think yeah, I didn't. It was fun playing indoor soccer though,
Yeah,
because I was still able to hang out with my
yeah,
friends,
yeah.
and indoor soccer is really difficult.
It is. It's a lot different, a lot more fast paced, but
Mhm.
it requires a lot more technical skill.
Yeah, I
That way.
was not prepared for that at
No,
all. I was like
no.
huffing and puffing my first
Yeah,
game.
and it's a different type of running.
Hmm.
In outdoor, it's a little bit more endurance,
Hmm.
right, and a lot more space. And there's times that the ball's not around you, so you can kind of take a break.
Yeah,
Indoor, you're going full speed all the
all
time.
the time.
Yeah, it's always 100%
Yeah.
sprint, and so it's important to do those hockey style substitutions where you're in and out that way.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of
Hmm.
fun, and great way that way. Wow, it's amazing. What was the rehab like for the ACL?
It was, let's see. I think I probably tore it in like March or April.
Hmm.
And then by November the next year, I was able to do a powder puff game, kind of
Okay.
barely. So
Yeah.
it was, I had a brace on, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then by that December, I was able to do indoor soccer. So I think when we're younger, our bodies recover a lot
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. They say a true recovery from ACL, and definitely around that time is a full year.
No, wow.
Yeah, full year. That way, they've gotten a lot better, and people have improved with that way. But still, I would say you don't see the your full capacity of about a year or two after that.
Yeah, it feels
Oh.
weird running on it afterward. It's like it's hard to build that confidence
Mhm.
again.
But you did, and
Yeah.
look at you with that. You've not only done indoor soccer, but you've done snowboarding
Hmm.
after that, right?
Yep.
Which that way, and done mountain biking,
Yeah.
like
Well,
and like all the running,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like you like all your nine that you've done is after that, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing. People don't come back from that, and yet you did.
Well, I have to credit my physical therapist. He was very good. Yeah, he got me up and running in no time. So,
Wow. Um, random side. What sporting event are you looking forward to?
ooh, am I allowed to have three?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it means this is we're here just have
All
fun, just go
right.
with it.
Okay. Well, it's all women's soccer, but I
Okay.
would say number one would be the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
2027.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brazil's gonna happen. Are you guys going?
We are gonna make it happen.
How?
The fun part is this, right? My wife has always wanted to go to Brazil,
Mhm.
and my kid no really wants to go to Brazil.
How exciting.
So being able to combo that and say, hey, we're doing that way
Mhm.
is added bonus. It's like if they're already super 100% vested, I know it's a full go. I don't have to do any convincing or that
That's
way. So
amazing.
yeah, I love it. So
Okay, so number two
uh,
would be the Olympics, which, all
fine.
right, it's coming to LA.
Yeah, 2020
So I
Olympics.
think that's gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
And then the third would be a Champions League game, the Women's Champions League game, or
Ah,
final,
okay.
actually.
All right. That would be cool.
Yeah, because
And your plans to go out there and check that out?
yeah, well, I watched the last final.
Uh,
It was Spain versus or Barcelona versus Leon,
yeah.
and just the crowd there was insane. I was like, oh my God. For women's championship final, that's pretty incredible
Yeah.
to get that kind of crowd.
Like the women bring it, and
Mhm.
the games are so fun in those finals, and the crowds
Yeah.
are out there, so the atmospheres are amazing.
Hmm.
Like our wave games are so fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, to see a Champions League game that way, oh, that's a cool bucket list to go check out
Yeah.
if I end it that way. Uh, so I've got a list with this. We'll come to a point where I like to call crunch time.
Okay.
Okay. So just rapid fire questions, all
Hmm.
right, that you just give me your first answer. Okay. There's no wrong, right, or anything like that. So, are you a goo, gel, or protein bar person when it comes to your running?
Ooh. I am a protein bar and also a gel.
Wow,
Yeah.
two favorite flavor and favorite type of like brand.
Definitely Cliff Bar all the way. And then it would be for gels, the margarita one,
Margarita.
because it has 2 times the sodium and I sweat a ton. So that one, it's easy on my tummy and you get the electrolytes again.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Do you got a favorite sports song?
Uh, Not one that I can really think of in particular. I think
Okay.
just anything dance music is very motivating. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't, when you're running, you don't put on the headphones and listen to anything like that, but nothing to like hype you up or anything like that.
Um, Usually it's always dance music.
That's awesome.
It's always dance music.
Is it a particular type of dance music?
Um, it's anything that's kind of current. I'm trying to think of one song that I've had. There's Again and Again by Basto.
Uh-huh.
That's a dance song. It's my tradition. So every marathon that I run, that's the first song that I play in my playlist.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, cool. That's good. Do you have any other traditions you do before a run?
I'm trying to pull it. Use the washroom.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. And then I don't know. Yeah, just jump in line, try to shake the nerves out, and yeah.
That's so cool. And what's your favorite or first meal after you do a run?
Pizza and beer.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. What type of pizza?
I
From
really like urban.
okay,
Yeah,
urban
urban
pizza.
pizza. They're
Yeah.
like coal-fired
Yeah.
pizza. That one's really good.
They're always good. And they're huge, right? It isn't
Yeah.
right. Such huge, nice thin crust pies. So very
Mhm.
tasty. Good choice. And favorite type of beer?
Anything IPA. D hates them. She's like, oh, they're too bitter.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste.
Do you have a favorite sports bar that you go to watch a game?
Fair play.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Ooh, how cool.
And
What's
that
so cool about fair play?
they've got really good food, really
Hmm.
good drinks,
Hmm.
and good prices.
Hmm.
And it's actually, I think, kind of a family bar too, so you can bring your kids too if you
Oh,
want. And
that's huge.
yeah.
That's the big thing, right? Because then the atmosphere is nice,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like you that way, you can get into the games, but you don't have to worry about like people going,
Getting too crazy. Yeah,
yeah, too nuts and too legit and stuff like that.
their staff is really great
Yeah.
too. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite food you eat while you watch a game?
I usually there's a beer involved and popcorn.
Okay,
Yeah.
popcorn, nice.
Mhm.
I'm good that way. Do you have a favorite sports movie?
Ooh. I think it's A League of Their Own.
Good choice.
That one,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
hits home.
great one,
I could
right?
watch that 100 times.
Yeah, right. Tom Hanks, Donna's in that, Rosie O'Donnell, and Gina Davis.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great choice. Oh, and the whole classic line, there's no crying in baseball.
There's-
Crying in baseball. No, and Gina Davis was so good in that way.
You
No.
know.
Oh, and based on a true story.
Really? I
Yeah.
couldn't find.
Yes, it's based on a true story. It goes back, so you can go back and you appreciate that. But for all you movie lovers, are definitely one to check out. It's a classic
I
for
feel like
sure.
I should know that too, because the Rockford, Illinois. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Rockford Beaches.
Yeah.
All right. If this San Diego Wave ever make the NWSL championship, will you get your face painted?
Yes.
Nice.
Only
That's
if you are too.
I'll do it with you
Okay.
for sure. No doubts. I'll get the full deal. We'll get the full logo on it, and we'll be rocking it.
Oh, awesome.
And I know you and I will probably be at that game.
Yes, 100%.
Listen, we'll be there. We'll travel where it goes, and we're gonna watch this thing and go that way.
We'll get back
Yeah.
there.
Now, if they win that championship,
Mhm.
do you think Dee will get a tattoo of the San Diego Wave logo?
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
It might take a little convincing.
Well, I mean, if we kidnap her and take her to the game too.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have no choice.
she'll get all into it, and I'm sure like as soon as she's done, she'll go to the nearest tattoo parlor and get it done.
It would fit well on the arm, I think.
That way, she's incredible how she does those tattoos. I'll give her a lot of credit for that. Yeah. All right, Kathy, this was so awesome.
Thank you so much
This
for
is
having
so
me.
fun. No, thank you for being part of this. I love it. Number nine, my game changer. Um, so you have a great one and family out there and teammates out there. Thank you so much for joining us. You all, good game, good sportsmanship, lots of love as always. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.